Today I failed my driving test. And it was a very bad experience for me. Life is all about growing and evolving, and when you grow up as an adult, what we sometimes forget is that failure is a part of the growth experience. Today when I failed the test, I don't know, a part of me was just really, really morose. It was really, really down. It's not the end of the world. It's just driving. It isn't like I'm not allowed to live in this country anymore, like I failed a passport citizenship test. I guess I've built a narrative in my head so long that I deserved this win, that when it came down to it, when I didn't receive, maybe I started to take it out of myself a bit more. For those who really care about the driving thing, I got a serious fault. Not a serious fault, a dangerous fault actually. I was going down a hill towards a shopping center. It's not really important, but I was going down a hill and there were parked cars on my side of the road and there were parked cars on the other side of the road. And traffic was flowing this way and I was going the way that you go. Long story short, my driving examiner was like, I'm not confident that you're gonna fit through the gap to make it in, and your judgment was really poor. So he had to grab the wheel. And for anyone who knows driving, once an examiner has to take control of the wheel, that is it. Control of the wheel, control of the brakes. If they have to take control of the car, you have failed automatically. And as a result of that, the drive back towards the center was really, like, we were so jovial and conversational during the test. It was really, really good during the test. Like, I talked about how I play saxophone, and he told me that his cousin or nephew plays saxophone as well, and he's talking about he used to be a police officer, superintendent, and now he's looking for more managerial roles and this and that. And we were all jovial, but getting to that hill, there was full silence after he grabbed the wheel. And I've been thinking about that all day. I almost didn't even want to make this video because I was so upset by the fact that I didn't pass my test. This has been like the pinnacle of what I wanted. I wanted to start my 2025. I wanted to start my new year on a really good note. And now I don't have that. But that is just it. And this is where the advice comes in, is like, you don't need these things as evidence that you're doing better. Because sometimes you'll wake up one day and the evidence will be right in front of you, but you won't notice it because it's habitual. That is what I'm sort of here to talk about, is that January is one of those months where we put so much hope and faith and belief in the idea of becoming brand new, the renewal, the changing of our energy and our spirits. And I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. We have so many plans in place for ourselves, but we forget you can't plan life out. Please have goals and attainable things and things you work towards, absolutely, steps. But that is life, is that sometimes, just like the driving test, things will show up and they won't go your way, and you have to learn that it isn't a reflection of who you are as a person or how good you are at things. It is just the fact that things don't always go your way. This is about that, I guess. It's not cognitive bias theory. I forgot what it was called, but the idea that humans sometimes latch onto the negatives. That's just today. And the videography job thing, that's just been a running thing. But I've had so many good experiences January so far. Like, for instance, second week of January, I actually went on my first trip this year to Lyon. Went with my sister. It was a £10 flight, which is amazing. We had £1 to go there on Wizz Air, which is a 50-50. For those who know what Wizz Air is, could survive, might not survive, but it was really cheap. And then I also had an £8 return, so it was £9 in total. And it was really, really good. I enjoyed my experience with my sister. I'll show you some of the shots. I mean, we visited the Basilica, we rode the metro a lot, we did some shopping, we had some really good food. Our hotel was amazing. It was like heated towels, and I don't know why I'm saying that like I'm a peasant. That's a standard thing in hotels, but it was just a very nice ambiance in that hotel. And the people were nice. I will tell you one thing though about going to France, especially if it is in Paris. People just don't speak English. Outside of the center, the town center, their main district hub or whatever it is, but outside of their main center or tourist attractions, people do not speak English. It forces you, it really puts you into a perspective of how much different the rest of the world is to an English-speaking country like I am in the UK, which is just the fact that life goes on outside of what you have in your head. So much is happening beside me and I'm trying to just keep my cool because I can't see the shot. Yeah, I really enjoyed that trip. It was amazing. On top of that, I had my very first shoot of the year. Photography, not videography, but photography. And it was really good. And here are some of the images that I ended up taking. I just called a couple of friends. I put out like a request on my socials. I needed a couple of models, basically pose in a high fashion, luxury-esque kind of streetwear thing. I just wanted to have some sample shots so I could basically forward myself for more fashion shows like Paris Fashion Week or London Fashion Week or New York Fashion Week, because doing shows like those are how I get myself into the spaces where I can connect with people who could bring me further along in my career, right? And that shit was amazing. The shots look absolutely amazing. And I've actually used those shots to land myself a space in London Fashion Week, which is coming up at the end of February. which is really, really good. So things are going well for me in the creative scene as well. And that's what I mean is like, yes, I just filmed my test today. Yes, I didn't get the videography job I set myself out to do in December, but there are good things happening. I'm not sure if I said this last December, or I'm not sure if I said it beforehand, but you need to be the type of person who remembers to focus on the good. Surround yourself with the good, because it's so very easy to focus and pinpoint the bad things. You know, even when you're on set, right, there are so many times, like, I messed up the shutter speed, I messed up the frame. Now, obviously, there are some things that are like, maybe fix that. But what you never realize is that the world doesn't see itself through your lens. You have a bias of how things should be, concept should be, how life should be. But the reality is that things are flexible. The mistakes that you think you make might be some of the most beautiful things to other people, right? I am trying my best to calm down a little bit, because it's like everybody is just walking around near me and I'm trying to record something. But it's really awkward recording when people are around. I'm hoping this is really good framing and I'm in focus, because I really, really like this shot. But yeah, also, I'm gonna have a bad time editing this. Outside of just getting myself a London Fashion Week spot, I've been able to transition into being fully known as the video guy. Like, people, like, I had a friend of mine who I used to know really well in university. His name's Timmy. He's a really popular artist. And he hit me up, he was like, I really love the work you've been doing. Can we shoot like a visualizer for some songs, some music that's coming up really soon? I've been working closely with a friend of mine, her name's Beatrice, and she has a brother who's a fairly popular singer, J Soul. He went on X Factor a while ago. I've been working closely with him to do some social content. And even a spin-off of that is that one of the singers in his band, Soul and the Gang, she's been reaching out to me to do some photo shoots as well. Like, a lot of people, I'm not at that stage now where I'm struggling to make myself known. People know who I am, which is, like I was saying last episode in December, I'm really grateful, because this is my reality now. I'm not like, oh, please see me as a videographer. Like, people expect me to be doing this. People expect this to me at work, so much so that even because I have a part-time job, people's expectation of me is that I'm available on those like random, like Tuesday at 12:17 p.m. People have expectancies for me to be available those times, which sometimes I am. But yeah, I'm really grateful for the things that I have. Fair enough, I haven't reached some of my goals. I haven't reached some of the things I set myself out to do in December. But that is exactly what I'm leading to in this episode, is that failure is not the end of the journey. Failure is a really good pivoting point to let you know that you just need to try something different, try something new. Enjoy the fact that you have accomplished something. You have accomplished something which some people are unable to do, which is fail. Failure is an accomplishment in itself, because failure is evidence of the fact that you attempted something. A lot of people fail at attempting. That's the biggest hurdle. People who want to get into this creative space, or people who want to do things with their lives, they don't overcome, which I'm grateful. I've attempted, and I have the evidence of the attempt. I attempted a driving test today. I failed, and I'm gonna go next time and just do it better and just pass, hopefully. Outside of everything, I'm really excited to see what this year has to offer me. Having already done one flight, having already landed myself a spot at Fashion Week, having already gotten so many music gigs, side gigs, done a couple of different shoots out there, like, everything's pointing towards a positive direction for me. We're 5 months in now, and you guys have seen this journey with me. The advice I have to tell people is that this is the point now where it's just like, keep going. Keep it simple, keep going. For people who may be on this journey with me, who may be starting, when you start, like I was saying in December, there is going to be insane amounts of friction. But don't let the cognitive bias of, oh, this is so difficult. Like, there's so many things. My camera, my SD broke. I can't make music. I don't know what's going on. I'm poor. I'm this and this. Don't let any of those things deter you from the fact that you are just a couple of steps away from the bit of it where it just starts to feel like second nature. This is all just to say that I'm looking forward to a 2025. I'm looking forward to a really, really good time with some really, really good people, I've already booked my next flight, by the way. I actually have a trip towards the end of February for Amsterdam. I think it's the 26th to the 30th. I also have a trip that I've booked in April to Italy. I'm hoping I can get an international trip booked, because that'd be really cool to do like a Dubai or Brazil or like a Japan. Japan's a really hot point on my list. Or not just like with personal things, even with work things. I do want to travel a bit more and do work abroad seas. I think that's where the best could come out of me. because I'm such a big fan of interacting with new people. With a lot of the creative industry, a lot of the entertainment industry, everything's really cliquey. It's all the same people doing the same things with the same friends that they have. And that's perfectly fine, because when you're doing like your creative stuff, you need to come up with the people around you. And I'm at that point now where I do genuinely have a lot of good support systems around me. I have a really good friend, her name's Audrey. She's always hitting me up about projects. Oh, you should try this, you should go here. She's always pointing me in directions, places. And as a result of that, we have a really good partnership in the sense of when she wants to do some of her work, I'm always happy to do it. Even if it doesn't involve money, I'm always happy to help her out to do some of her work, because she champions me so well. I was a friend of her who was the person who actually gave me the Dating Black show. Ore, even she's always championing me, like, oh, you should try this out, you should be a videographer for these people, this, and this, sending me work. These are the people that, yeah, you want to come up with these people. But on top of that, like, the creative industry, yes, it's fairly cliquey, but when you get the chance to work in different scenarios with different people, that's when I think it feels the best. That's when I think the creative industry just allows you to thrive the most, because then it stops feeling like a job. Like I was talking about, I think in episode 3 and episode 2, I can't remember, but along the way, this has started to feel a bit like a chore, like, oh, I have to because I need to make my money, because I'm so far in debt. I have to because it's just what I do. The entire point of starting this journey was I wanted to enjoy it, and I'm enjoying it. And I'm getting to the point now where if I just start to really hammer down on what it is that I can offer people and the services I can give out to people, like, I know what it is that I want to do, by the way. Like, please don't get it twisted. I'm aiming towards a scenario where I am known as a film specialist, both in documentary work, but also in narrative work. That is where I'm going towards. But for the sake of getting in the rooms of the people who could actually take me places, I'm doing a lot of different things right now, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Again, I'm only 5 months in. I was telling my mom this. I quit end of July, start of August, and now it is end of January. So that's after September comes what? August was month number 1, October was month number 3, and this is month number 6, because then I would have February, July, 7 plus 6, 13. That doesn't sound right. Did I do some really bad maths? August, September, October, November, December, January. Regardless, I've been doing this 6 months. I think everything that I've learned along this way is that there's a lot of beauty in the struggle. And you're gonna think there's no beauty in the struggle because you are struggling. I'm not fighting that. I'm not telling you that you're not struggling. But there's beauty in the struggle. On the other side, especially, you get to look back and be like, wow, I can't believe that was what was taking away so much stress from me. I can't believe that was what was giving me so much grief. And even with everything I've gone through this month, I'm just looking forward to so much, so much. I'm hoping these videos I keep making because they give me so much accountability. I used to hate coming in front of the camera, like I talked about with, I have a really bad lopsidedness. It doesn't always really translate itself well on camera. So I really do look bad, especially on cameras like this. But it is only when we step out of our comfort zone that we really realize the things we're capable of achieving. And that's where I am. I think it's getting real low, but the thing I want to leave you guys with is just this. Your failure is not a predictor of when your success will come. I've committed to this journey. There is no turning back for me now, simply because it wouldn't feel right. I was talking with my driving instructor after the failure of the test, and I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll just wait 7 months again because I'm not in the mood for this right now. You don't always have 7 months. Waiting because you're scared to fail again is exactly how you never succeed in the first place. It's a new year, it's a new start, you have new goals. Don't beat yourself up if you don't achieve them. You made it this far. You can keep going a little longer. Peace.